One of the things we try to do at Philanthropy New York is to create a place where people can come together and pause and reflect.
It gives one an opportunity not only to meet new people doing similar type work, but exchange ideas about how that work should get done.
It's a place where you really create a network of colleagues, some of whom become friends, and I think that's important. It makes New York a smaller place. You start to understand that you're part of a community.
There's a very diverse spectrum of perspectives.
They've done a really great job at bringing in so many different perspectives to really begin to have more concrete dialogue about how we move forward, not just with the field, but with the communities that we serve.
I think it's a very fertile breeding ground for lots of new ideas as well as lots of argument. But that's good.
It's actually hard to be a really good and effective grant maker.
Even though one may have the means and the funds to support important work, it's not work that can be, I believe, done in isolation. It requires really weaving together a coalition, a network of people that are addressing it from a number of different ways. I think the most interesting work in this field happens when all those boundaries collide and things emerge on the edges.
When we think about philanthropy, you have this stereotypical concept sometimes of charity or just putting money towards quick fixes. But what's really needed is sort of getting below the surface and funding or supporting things that actually grow organizations for the long run. Philanthropy New York is really a forum where people can speak to what's worked and what hasn't worked with their funding dollars and can brainstorm in an innovative way about how to get below that surface.
The programming that Philanthropy New York puts together is just amazing. The access that they have to philanthropists, city government officials, leaders in the field, also just to the public charities, the leaders that are providing the services.
I read about grant makers doing interesting things all the time. At Philanthropy New York, I actually get to see them and talk to them and ask them that follow-up question that pops into my head when I read about their latest grant in the Chronicle. It takes what is sort of an abstract or can be an academic environment and makes it very human. It's like getting instant acceptance into a club that you couldn't imagine would ever accept you.
I can come to Philanthropy New York and make sure that I'm on top of all the issues. I can make sure that I'm current in the thinking of my particular field, because that's what Philanthropy New York does.
We are at a moment where it feels like people are paying attention. It's a moment where if philanthropy speaks out, we'll be heard.
I think there's a piece here in just amplifying the voice of philanthropy that helps people understand the role that thoughtful, smart giving can play in helping the communities.
We have the expertise, we have the knowledge. What I'd like to have the organization continue moving toward is serving as that go-to organization in these very challenging times.
If Philanthropy New York didn't exist, we would have to create it.